It's me, SPILLIN. A bunch of PS1 games. I can just walk in and out of thrift store. Hello gamers, it's me, SPILLIN. It's my show. Glad to be back, man. Hello gamers, it's me, SPILLIN. It's my show. Glad to be back to do another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about having anxiety and also being an introvert and how that actually affects me, not only in my daily life, but just in the normal things that I might go out in life and do on a regular basis and stuff like that. And as far as the anxiety and the being an introvert, they kind of, it's almost like there's a correlation or there's some similarities between the two. Because with anxiety, what basically happens, the way I explain it to people, it's like a bunch of people talking to me at one time. It's like it's so much happening at one time that what happens for me, as far as my body, my heart starts to race really fast. I start to sweat profusely. A lot of thoughts start racing through my head. Negativity and stuff like that, and thinking the worst or something like that. And so my immediate thought is to get away, or slowly try to pull away. But with anxiety, on a regular going out type of setting, like if I'm going out to a place I haven't been to before, my mind automatically goes to a place of, I don't want to go. If it's especially if I know it's going to be, because I know with having anxiety, really, it's also like having I pretty much have social anxiety as well, because it's overwhelming to have so many people in a certain place at the same time. And I feel like I feel like I have to perform or something. I don't know. It's so weird, the random thoughts that go through my head that other people are not thinking. When I'm at a regular setting, like say if we go out, like last week, for example, we went to a karaoke bar, and I'll have the gumption or I'll have the gall to want to get up and do a song, but because my mind gets bombarded with thoughts and stuff like that on how I'm going to sound and what type of song to pick, racing thoughts just start going through my head, which I really shouldn't do to myself, but I do it anyway. And I know that's attributed to the anxiety. And the best way I can also describe it as well is just like when a police officer hits his sirens or when he pulls you over, you automatically go into panic mode. Well, for me, that happens a lot more than it should. It's almost like a regular occurrence. And like when I go out, or like even when I'm at work, there are times where I'll feel my heart pulsating or racing and stuff like that. So over the years, what I've done is I've come up with a few coping mechanisms to be able to deal with that stuff, because like I started to notice, and the reason why I'm even doing all this is because I know there's people out there with anxiety issues, depression, and all kinds of other stuff that can actually be crippling or paralyzing as far as keeping them in, because most people with anxiety have a tendency to shut down because they don't want the panic. Because with anxiety, it's more about control. And I know for me, that's attributed to my past, not having control over what was being done to me, from the experiences that I lived in, as far as the tumultuous, traumatic things that I experienced as a child, and then coming up as a teenager, and all kinds of other stuff. So I really didn't have no control or say so over the matter. So when anxiety, it's feeling like you're not in control. So you have to try to rush and get all your thoughts back together and try to put everything back together. So it immediately makes you want to shut down. Now, as far as the being an introvert, how the two come together, I even noticed even back in high school, people would call people loners and stuff like that, and I would have been classified as a loner. And to a degree, that was what it was, because introverted people, they exhibit more attributes of being an introvert than an extrovert. It doesn't mean that you can't, but introvert people feed off of loneliness. Extroverted people feed off of socializing, being around other people, actually being around them. I'm not talking about interacting over social media and over the internet and stuff, which is what I do, which is not the same, you know. And introverted people have a tendency to be able to function a lot better in smaller groups than large groups. What happens is, as the numbers for me increase, anxiety starts to go up. And so I start to pull away, because I exhibit, at times people think, you know, and it's funny because I've had many people hit me up in comments and seeing, they're like, you seem like an easygoing guy, sweet guy, and little do they know that I feed off of being by myself. Like I said, in high school, I even knew that I was an introvert when I look back on it now. And even when I was younger, because I would eat lunch on the stoops of the school, you know, because I couldn't process everything that was going on. It was too much energy going on around me and all these people and all this. And then when I would hear about the fights, that would cause me anxiety, because I would be worried about having to get into an altercation with somebody or whatever. I don't know. But I just seemed to be more at peace by myself. And so a majority of my time was spent by myself. Introverted people have a tendency to be smart for simple reasons, because they like to learn, they like to grow, they like deep, meaningful conversations. So when I'm conversating with somebody, I might initially start off talking about what you're collecting, what games you're playing, but eventually my conversation starts to turn towards real life. What's going on in the world? What's going on with you and your family? How do you feel about yada, yada, yada? You know, what spin on life do you feel like this takes and stuff like that? So as an introverted person, the part that can kind of be suffocating is when people expect things out of me. They put projects on me and they haven't really prepared me for it. They just threw it on me. That suffocates me, and that causes pressure. And then, like I said, the anxiety starts to kick up, the nervousness, the nervous energy. And even when I was younger, I used to pace a lot. I've kind of digressed only because people have brought it to my attention that I've done it. But I would go from the living room to back to the room, to the living room, back to the room, because really my comfort zone is my room. Even when I shoot my videos, I do them in my room. And so don't let the mask, because I'm really not putting up any facade. I give you who I am, but I think people take what they want from what they see, and they gather that as the perception of who I am. But truly, as an introvert, the big things about being an introvert that I say is a plus is that I can go out and do things by myself. I can go to the mall, I go shopping, I go to the movies, I can go out and eat, because on a level, I don't care what people think. You know, I care more about what I think. Now, I do have times where I start to hear things in my head, like people, I feel like people are looking at me, and that's when the anxiety goes up. But ways that I've learned to cope with having anxiety and being an introvert, like when I'm walking through the mall or something like that, I immediately turn my headset on. I immediately start playing music while I'm walking through the mall, because as you walk through the crowds, you can kind of feel a rush of all this energy and you start to get nervous. So immediately I start walking faster and I start getting away from crowds. Like if I see a crowd of people, and it's almost like a subconscious thing that I do, because I didn't even know that I was doing it until I started really picking apart every little thing that I was doing. And I realized, okay, yeah, I definitely have anxiety and social anxiety and being around large crowds of people. And that just goes back to being an introvert. But I can go to movies, sit down, have food, have a drink, and it's not no big deal to me. I can do that by myself, because introverted people, we actually get exhausted from all the energy from extroverted people. They're so lively, they're so easygoing, Not that we have a problem with that, but that's how they work. And for me, that's mentally draining. I can't be around people for too long. You know, that is kind of a downfall for me. Like even when I did a Google chat, they were on there for hours. I was trying to participate within the Google chat, but after a while, my introverted side was crying out. Like, you know, it's time to unplug, go do your own thing. Because, like I said, a big percentage of my day, when I come home from work, I go straight to the room. I mean, I say hi to everybody, to my wife, my kid, my mother-in-law, you know, and I let the dog out and stuff like that. But a majority of my time is spent at home. Now, the sad or the bad part of having anxiety mixed with introvertedness, if I didn't have a wife that was an extrovert, I probably wouldn't do as many activities. I mean, I do certain things because I've gotten away, because most people think introverted people are shy, and that's so contrary. We're actually extraordinary people who like to engage in certain activities, but we like to do it in smaller groups. Like house parties are perfect, but a big block party, that probably would be too much for somebody like me. I could roll with the idea for maybe an hour, and then maybe 2 hours, but 3 hours, panic would start to set in. My chest would feel like it's starting to go down and stuff like that. So even when I walk through my job, I walk through with a headset on. It's like when I'm even engaging in a conversation with somebody, but somebody else feels like they want to jump in, I start to feel a weight, but then another person wants to jump in and I feel like I'm being attacked, but it's really not that. It's just more of anxiety starting to go on. So I hope for the most part that you get where I'm coming from with having anxiety. And really it's just a disorder that you honestly, most of the things just attributed from your past can only heighten that. And so it's all about wanting to have control over what's going on. And just the introverted side, that's just me, I'm really a personal person. So this channel has helped me in so many ways. It's helped me to be a little bit more of an extrovert, but reality is I am an introvert. I do have anxiety and I deal with this constantly. Like I am sweating profusely right now just talking about it because it's a release. It's something that I'm giving. So I'm hoping this helps somebody else out, because I want people to not be crippled by depression, by anxiety, by phobias, by being an introvert. You know, try to jump out and be out there a little bit more in the culture, you know. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope anybody with these things going on, if you need to seek counseling, which I've done in the past, I've seek counseling numerous times, and it's been beneficial to me, and talking about it is so therapeutic. And so if you need help, I advise you at all costs to do so. Tell me what your thoughts are. Like, share this video with as many people, leave comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll just keep opening up to you guys and talking about other things going on in my life. And I appreciate you guys. I really love everyone that's been dedicated, man. And when I drop a video now, it's just phenomenal. The amount of it's actually overwhelming, the amount of response that I get from people, and it's a good feeling, because I try to show as much love to you guys as much love that you show to me, you know. And this year has been great. I've actually broken through a lot of things. Doing these videos has helped me, not only with my life, but with my family, and to break through a lot of things that we just didn't talk about for a long time. So yeah, I hope this really helps, touches somebody. Share this video, like it to as many people. Do it in a good way, and just let people know, hey, this guy right here that we sit here and watch all the time, he exhibits all these other attributes that I didn't even know about. So yeah, other than that, I'm SPILLIN 79, and I'm out.